a little kid, all I wanted to do was be a professional athlete, and that was it. Ever since I was 5 years old and could run, that's all I wanted to do. My whole entire life, all I've done was strive to be a professional athlete. I've strived to be famous. I've strived to be wealthy. I've strived to be noticed walking around town, or noticed when I go to the malls and stuff like that. Stuff that's important to kids that our society sees today. When you're growing up, you see all this stuff on TV. That's what I wanted to become. And I had a lot of heroes. And when I was growing up, everybody would always ask me, who was your favorite hero? Was it Jerry Rice or was it Joe Montana? And I would always say, you're in the wrong sport. I love Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan was a huge hero of mine. And that's all I wanted to be like, was Mike. And about, I don't know, 6 months ago or so, we started getting to know each other, especially your family of mine, and had the great opportunity to meet you. But for people who, I know you guys just heard this a little bit ago, but throughout my career I found Jesus Christ. And I realized that the heroes and the accolades and famous, being famous and living in big homes and all that kind of stuff, I don't take with me. And I've learned that what God has sent me to do is serve other people and put other people before myself. And it's amazing because 6 months ago, I strived to be a Christian. I walked like a Christian. I tried to serve like a Christian. I've totally tried to walk in Christ's feet and his footsteps. And 6 months ago, 6 months ago, I found my hero, and it was you. You want me to speak 20 minutes? I don't know if I'm going to last 20 minutes. But, you know, Nick, first thing that caught my mind when I was reading all this stuff, and this is Tammy, this is what I look like on the computer when you send me all those emails. So put email me. You know, 6 months ago, and I told you this when I met you, and I wrote it on football, that you were my hero. And I respect the fact that when I met you, you were 12 years old, and you were more mature than I was when I was 25 years old, 26 years old, 27 years old, going through struggles in my life that I thought were big things in my life, things that I didn't want to go right. You know, that when I've been cut from football teams, or I've had to transfer schools and those kind of things. And I'm sitting here thinking that how selfish am I? When what you're doing and what you have done and what I believe, and I pray for every night that you'll continue to do, is something that you've changed my life. I mean, you have absolutely changed my life. And for me to sit here and tell you that, you know, I've done a lot of things and I've completed my dream. But I believe that my whole entire career, God has set me up for this stage to be able to spread the word. And I got to tell you that there's no way that I can do what I do today if I didn't meet you. And you've been very special. I know we haven't talked probably as much as I would like and as much as you would like, and see each other. You're down here in the hillbilly country, and I live in one of the worst cities in America. So don't be talking about my mayor. No. But you know what? 6 months ago, Nick, I started praying for you every single night. And I pray every single night that God takes his hands and eliminates everything inside of you that's negative. And I believe he's going to do that. I know he's going to do that. My wife probably gets mad at me because you're probably one of my last spots before I fall asleep. She didn't have to get over that. But I wanted to come down here tonight, like I mentioned earlier, a little bit about Joshua 1:9. And I want to tell you this verse, and everybody knows it, has heard it, where it says, have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous, never discouraged or terrified, for the Lord is with you wherever you go. And I want to speak to you a little bit tonight. I'm going to break that verse down because I know it's important to me. And more importantly, I know it's very important to Nick. But I want to start from the beginning, where God says, have I not commanded you? God is around us every single day trying to get our attention. God is around us every single day sending signals or signs or little things in our life to make sure that we're paying attention. I believe that 99% of this world walk around with, and you guys know this more than I do being down here in Kentucky, but with blinders, with horse blinders on. You can only see your ideas in front of you, and you can't see God's ideas all around you. So I'm asking you tonight to take your blinders off, just like Nick does. Because what Nick has done is put himself last, and has commanded every one of you to see what he does for a living. And I think he's inspired all of us from that. I think secondly, when we go into the second part of the verse, where it says, be strong and courageous, this doesn't mean that you can conquer the ultimate fighting championship. What this means is you can deal with the daily battles that the devil sends at us every single day. And if you're strong and courageous with Jesus Christ being your backbone, you can accomplish anything you want, and you can get through anything you want, and you can definitely be like Nick Nischan and conquer anything that you want. And I believe when I would think about this, be strong and courageous. Nick, now you've inspired me. You've inspired me every single day to walk out on a football field, or you get beat up like nothing else in the world, and yet I can understand what you go through and go out and do my job for a living like it doesn't even exist. It's the easiest thing in the world. And I thank you for that. That's something that you've allowed me to do. I walk through life now. I walk down hallways, and I walk down churches, and I speak to groups, and I pray with people, and I was telling Tim this here earlier, I was never strong enough to do things like that. And I don't like to be in the forefront. I don't like to be in front of people and preach and preach and preach. But I have to tell you that when I do stuff, I do it very strong and courageously, so that when people understand what I'm doing for a living, and people understand the way I'm acting and how strong and courageous I am inside, they'll know that Jesus Christ is the one giving me that strength, just like it gives Nick Nischan the strength to become what he's become. Nick, the third part of this verse, do not be terrified, do not be discouraged. It's got your name written all over it. We can never fathom as people exactly what you go through on a daily basis. I know how easy it is for you to paint a pretty picture on the outside, but you're the only one that talks to yourself on the inside. And what you do and the way you handle yourself continuously destroys this verse. You are never terrified. You are never discouraged. Sometimes you might be curious. Sometimes you might be weak. But we know underneath that Nick Nischan is very, very strong and courageous. To end this verse, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. I truly believe that if you get down on your hands and knees and accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and I'm not asking you to do this tonight, but I'm telling you this, if you believe that, you will walk around strong and courageously. It tells us in Psalm 91 that I will send a herd of angels I will send a herd of angels down around you, and there will be nothing that will break you. And I'm telling you this right now, if you accept Jesus Christ the same way Nick Nischan has, the Lord will be with you wherever you go. And there is the strength of Joshua 1:9, Nick Nischan. And I cannot thank you enough for the opportunity to be here tonight and to be able to spend the rest of the evening with you before I head back home tomorrow. But I have to tell you this. I'm going to tell you how the devil works. Nick, you've been very influential in my life, like I said, over the last 6 months. I was telling your dad this at dinner, but I can't stand to fly. For some reason, I fly around 10 times a year for a living and do a lot of stuff, but I can't stand to fly. And I was on my way down here today, and the first thing I did was wake up this morning and I saw in Detroit how the whole entire sky was just filled